Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live with Kenny, where we sit down with our city manager, Kenny Martin, with an update about all the good things in Mount Juliet that have been happening recently. And Kenny, how's it going today?
Doing fine, Captain. How you doing?
Hey, all is good. It's a beautiful day out there. I think we talked, we're going to try to keep this a little shorter than normal so we can get out there and enjoy the wonderful weather. So there's about 60 others watching right now. It continues to go up. So thank you all for joining us today. This is always a great live interactive update with our community where we get it straight from our city manager about just all the good things and all the good things with Mount Juliet just moving forward in a positive direction. We're growing, obviously, but we're growing with good managed growth. And, part of moving into a positive direction, Kenny, we got that email this week where the tornado siren that was damaged during the March 3rd tornado, the one at West Wilson Middle School, is now up. It's running. Marty Heckman with WEMA, when he knew it was in, he was out there about midnight with the company trying to get it installed and working. So they worked very hard to get that for us, to get it up. And now that is functioning in our community. And for those who don't know, the Wilson County Emergency Management Agency, they manage all of the outdoor weather warning sirens for our community. And we're just glad that it's up to serve that area that didn't have it for a while after it was damaged. So good news.
It is great news, and I want to thank our elected body as well on that because I know they were pushing it. Commissioner Hefner,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
very passionate from hearing from his constituents, of course, the
Mhm.
mayor, the elected body, staff, and everybody understands what this community went through, and especially that area around the middle school. And so it probably sets our minds at ease a little bit knowing it's in there. But I want to go back to the commission and thank them because, Captain, you'll remember or recall that they paid for those originally and then turned
Right.
over those devices. So this one got replaced by insurance. It couldn't come at a better time, and
Good.
we're excited to have that back in there. And hope we don't have any weather like we did last year. But if we do, we have, as they say, experience now. Unfortunately, an experience we'd like not to have,
Mhm.
but we've got it. And while I'm thinking of that, Captain, I want to give the police department, emergency services, public works, and all those other folks. We can't say it enough. To thank everybody. I know you guys were recently recognized as the Chamber Hero.
Sure.
The fire department was, I believe, Public Works and some others, and our elected body. And we're very proud of that distinction and that honor to be recognized. We do what we do because we do it because we love it and we love public service. But you go into something like that and you're standing in the middle of the road at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you look around and your city's destroyed and you've got lives lost and all, and you're heartbroken, and you wonder how you get past it. And you fast forward nearly a year now, and you look back, and yeah, there's still a few buildings out there that haven't been tackled, but this community, the way they come together is just amazing. So that's one big step in getting us back to some sense of normalcy of getting that tornado siren back in place.
Yeah, well, our community is blessed. We have awesome employees, awesome elected officials that truly fight for the people in their district, and just a great community members who then care so much about this city to keep it flourishing the way it is. So we are truly, truly blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Some good things coming up with parks. I guess you can talk a little bit about the new parkland we got.
Yeah, I'll go through it real quick. I know people are excited about that. Again,
Right.
got to go back to the elected body. In my 31 years of the city,
Mhm.
this is probably the most amount of park property we've bought in such a short period of time. And the reason that the elected body did that, along with staff, is that they said, hey, you know what? Land's not getting any cheaper. They understand as a result of the COVID how important being able to get outside and that quality of life is. We've learned that now more than ever. We've been looking for years, and they just decided, you know what? We're going to get some land. So we bought 57 acres.
Wow.
Down off of Beckwith Road, and we'll be working toward that with engineers, things of that nature on design and what that'll look like in the end. The parks you'll probably see the quickest will be the Tate Lane Park. It's about 9 acres right there beside Victory Church on Tate
Right.
Lane and Mount Jet Road. What's exciting about that, it ties in with our Greenway, Grace Church, which is Grace United Methodist Church. We're going to be calling it Grace. I believe it's called Grace Park at the Villages on Mount Jet Road. There's about 20 acres there. You'll see that probably come on board sooner than anything. The reason is we're going to do a lot of that park enhancement in-house.
Great.
And our parks department will get the heavy equipment out there, start cutting in trails,
Mhm.
build the dog park, pavilions, things of that nature. It'll be more of a passive park, so it doesn't disturb the neighbors in some shape, form, or fashion. But it's going to be a great asset. And again, I'm excited about that because parks and recreation and just being able to get outside. We sort of took it for granted before. But with COVID, the bad weather and things of that nature, with winter, you get outside on a day like that and it's 50 degrees. That feels like a summer day compared to being cooped up in your house.
Sure.
So I'm really appreciative of our elected body for stepping up and moving forward on these properties, and hopefully our citizens and those that patronize and visit our community will start seeing those come to fruition real quick. And Mundy Park is one of those. It's an existing park, and what they're looking at doing there, there's a multi-purpose field, and we're looking at converting that from multi-purpose and making it a series of tennis courts, pickleball courts, and an upgraded playground.
Oh, awesome.
And I think our community get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. That park is in a prime location around a lot of residents down there, and just thankful for the 57 acres off Beckwith too. It'll be exciting to see what that comes to fruition to be, and I think it's beautiful out that way. So it'll be a beautiful park.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're partnering, and I'm so glad you mentioned it. We're partnering with a local builder, and if all that gets approved at the commission level, this particular developer would also be probably building the infrastructure for the park. That's would be called Tomlinson Farms Park.
Gotcha.
On Beckwith Road, and that would involve a restroom facility, a trailhead, and the parking lot. So that gives us a big head start at no cost to the city or the citizens through a partnership with this particular developer.
Okay.
So that's really exciting to see something like that, as you say, come to fruition sooner than later. So look for some exciting things in the park department as we move forward.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things as we continue to talk infrastructure projects. We as a police department are working on our headquarters expansion. We are deep in the weeds with our architects, the architect workshop, who are working with us, and they've been meeting with staff recently, reviewing our current building, doing the infrastructure testing here with engineers, and doing surveys and stuff with the land that we have around us. And they are taking that data now and combing through it to try to design the best, most cost-effective building for our department. So that's where we stand there. And I think next week we're going to visit Vanderbilt universities and check out their emergency operations center, because it's a smaller type one that would be great for our community. So we're going to go check that out next week and just continue to go in process. It's really exciting to be working with them, to know that we're coming up with this safe shelter expansion for headquarters to keep our dispatchers safe, other important personnel that we have here, and it'll be a beautiful building. Some of the talks just briefly with them, I haven't seen anything, but this building is going to look like the surrounding area. It's going to be of a more hometown police department look, not a commercialized type building look, which will be exciting to see kind of what they come up with and what our other city staff and committees kind of angle towards. I want to see that final drawing to be able to show the community of what we're going to get, but we're not quite there yet. It'll probably be about another 2 or 3 months before we get to that point, but we're hoping we'll be selecting a builder sometime in July, August.
Yeah, it's funny that when you say that, it makes me think about countless other things. Give an example of this city and what it's doing that sometimes we don't really notice until you start really looking for it and listening. You and I were talking yesterday about another department somewhere that's looking at going to the LPR cameras.
Right.
That got me to thinking, for somebody that's been there a long time ago, how far this city's come, not only through the police department, the city, the elected body, but you think about, okay, you get an addition to the police station. The commission's been big time supportive of adding additional officers. We just recently added the additional bay to the current fire station behind City Hall to house a large ladder truck. We're getting closer and closer to breaking ground on the new fire station.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a mini pumper truck on order and being outfitted and equipped as we speak.
Awesome.
We just added nine new firefighters.
Wow.
You got the LPR cameras, which was one of maybe just a handful, maybe on one hand that you can count in the entire state.
Right.
That went to that. You had body cameras long before a lot of agencies did.
Oh yeah.
Tasers, all the less than lethal weapons, some of the best equipment known to man. Because again, this elected body, this police department, this city strives to keep public safety at the top and the quality of life at the top as well in this community.
Mm-hmm. And we're grateful for all that, for sure, especially from the police department, because it enables our officers, it encourages them to get out there and work hard, and they truly work so hard every day to keep this city safe. And they are grateful for that support from our community, which translates into support from our elected body, and of course our city administration like you, Kenny, who are always there to back us.
Yeah.
We have something, when we have a need, we bring it to you. And through your evaluation process, you typically determine that's what we need. So we appreciate
it. And I had to learn a lot about that stuff myself too. As you get older, you start looking, and as things change, you have to be willing to change with it. And you guys have taught me a lot with that as well. And for the people out there listening that are participating in this day, thank you for everything that you do in supporting the police department, our city, and all of our different departments. because really our citizens is what makes this community so great, and our sole focus. We have that saying is we can't change anything else outside of Mount Jewett, Tennessee. Can't do it, and really don't want to. Our focus is solely on the city of Mount Jewett, Tennessee, our citizens and those that patronize it. And when you think of patronizing, if I got any business owners out there and anybody else that's listening, please, please, please support our local businesses. It has nothing to do with City Hall. City Hall is going to be fine regardless, but our mom and pop businesses and our business community is what really drives this community. With us having such a low property tax, those sales tax numbers coming in not only keeps the local businesses that we've got in place, it actually helps us recruit new businesses. Yeah, and that's probably a good segue, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. What kind of new businesses we have coming on in? I wrote one down that I really want to try is Oscar's Taco Shop. I'm looking forward to that. I hear good things about it. When it opens up, I'll probably be busting their door down because if it's Mexican food, I love it. And I try it all. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever had bad Mexican food. It's sort of like pizza. You can put pizza stuff on a cracker and I'm going to like it. But Oscar's Tacos is going where your pie used to be, right there close to the PDK and Burger Republic and all that beautiful development. That's really coming up in that area over there. They're going to love that. They're going to love Bubba Coos. They're going to love ML Rose, which, by the way, is now officially under construction. Yeah. If you go by the old Logans, you'll notice they're just tearing that building all apart. I think our citizens are going to love what they see in the building. And once it's completed, they're not taking the whole building. They're taking about 7,500 square feet. So the other side of that building is going to be a beautiful salon.
Oh, great.
So it'd be a good fit because of the parking and things of that nature. Yeah. But that building is going to be gorgeous. We get two businesses for one. If you think about what we had before, it's a new business. There's maybe 3 other ML Roses. So if you hadn't had a chance to check them out, check out their website and you'll see what's coming to your town. And again, I think I mentioned Bubba Coos, ML Rose. I was looking at my list here. O'Reilly, Advanced Auto Parts, I think are some that you had on your list. Yeah. Avid Hotel, the True Brand Hotel. And also, I don't want to leave this out, is on the Candied Rib, which is a local couple success story. Started out doing mostly catering, and they're going to have their own restaurant right there where Pizza Hut used to be on Mount Jewett Road now. I'm very excited for them because, to me, those are the true successes.
Absolutely.
Sort of like the Harn family that put in the juice bar. They just celebrated 5 years of business. And a lot of folks don't remember when they first started business, they had a location here and in Hendersonville. And they end up closing that location, but they continue on in Mount Jewett, Tennessee, and that's because our citizens support their businesses, and our businesses, without a doubt, supports this community and the citizens.
For sure. That's good stuff. I know Sephora too is about opened up on their build out in Providence, where they kind of left JCPenney and separated. Of course, Thai Samurai, Hammer and Stain, Mutts and Meows, all a lot of cool, unique businesses to our community and restaurants. So we're excited to see.
Yeah, and you've got a couple of new daycares. We got at least 3 convenience markets, with two of those being on Golden Bear. One right beside HCA Hospital, which by far for HCA is their number one facility of that type. I want to say in Tennessee, but I'm certain it's in Middle Tennessee. And that speaks volumes about how our communities embrace that community and how HCA has embraced our community. And we appreciate everything they do for our community. That area is really starting to take off out there now with developments that I think that'll be user-friendly for our citizens. If you travel Golden Bear right now and you need to get gas, unless you get it at Highway 70 and Bender's Ferry, you're not going to be able to get it again until you get probably off at Mount Jewett Road from Golden Bear and 40. So that's exciting. Lots of good investment going in out there. There's also another location at Jackson Hill. So just keep supporting those businesses with spring just around the corner and weather getting better. Folks are going to be getting out even more. And again, thank our citizens, because where we thought this was going to be a down year for us in 2020, and it was down when you think of the tornado and the COVID, those are definitely negatives. But when you think about the way that our sales tax worked out, it's actually been up, which allows our city to do other things. And this will segue into some of the other things I'm thinking about to show you that when this city makes some money, rather than sitting on that money, we do have a rainy day fund. This elected body and staff chooses to put it back into the community to try to make enhancements. That's your police department, that's your fire department, and some traffic improvements we're working on as well, which is a big number to the tune of about $24 million.
Yeah, the I-40 overpass widening is underway now. Shouldn't be affecting traffic too much. They shifted the lanes, which is important for folks to know as they're out there working. There may be some lane shifts. And that's why I always tell folks you got to pay attention to your driving, because you never know what's going to pop up in front of you. And those lane shifts, especially around I-40, will be happening, and they just need to pay attention in that area to avoid a crash. But we're excited about that. That'll definitely help traffic down in the Providence area. And I guess some new traffic signals too, right?
We do, yeah. And I got to give the commission, and in particular Commissioner Hefter, credit, because we were at a meeting probably about 2 meetings back, about 4 weeks back, and we're always looking for opportunities. I know nobody likes traffic lights, but traffic lights are essential, and you know this better than anybody, Captain, for safety, for ingress, egress, for people being able to get out safely. And Commissioner Hefner and the elected body and the mayor chose recently to say, you know what, rather than waiting through the process, and we have a great relationship with TDOT in the state, but those things sometimes take a lot longer. And like anything else, there's an old saying is sometimes you want something done, you want it done quick. Right. You're better off to do it yourself. So this commission stepped up to the tune of about $900,000. And the reason we could do it this year is because our citizens have supported our businesses to the point to where our sales tax are up. So we can utilize those sales tax money through our general fund to fund these things out of pocket. So that would be a new light. And Captain, if you'll tell them the locations.
Yeah, for sure. So, we have Providence Parkway. We're next to Kroger. That has been for some time scheduled to go in there, and that's going to start soon. But Lebanon Road and South Green Hill is going to get a traffic signal. Mount Juliet Road at Curd Road, and then Mount Juliet Road at Oak Hall. I know there was some concerns about that Curd Road intersection with the post office being there. So I think the city and our engineers are still trying to work with the post office. Again, that's working with the federal government there and trying to do something to, make it easier for the folks that always go to the post office too. So that's exciting. I mean, I don't know a time ever when all of a sudden we're getting 4 traffic signals.
Yeah, and they're all needed. And I met recently, or I actually spoke to the postmaster at the Mount Juliet Post Office, and we were afraid that they might not be supportive of making a connection of the post office to Curd Road, but they actually are very supportive of that. And that's a big step, because if they're supportive of it, and the local postmaster will more likely get that support from the U.S. Postal Service. And just to make that process easier for citizens, if you don't have to get out on Mount Juliet Road, you could go out on Curd, and from Curd to Golden Bear and back home. Right. That's a great addition. The clerk's office behind City Hall, they're getting closer to their new location, which is down at the Mount Juliet Little League, or the League as they call it. They'll get a much bigger location to better serve the citizens, which we appreciate. It speaks volumes about the growth and the services that are needed on this end of the community. We got our admission center back up and running. We were having some electrical issues there. So last couple of weeks, it seems to be doing fine. So I think we've got that worked out. Just exciting times, very exciting times.
Yep. Sidewalks on Lebanon Road, phase 1 is about to be done in a month.
Yeah, and I know folks are happy for that. We've had some complaints lately, and I totally understand it. I agree hardly. I talk to our mayor just about every day, and very sympathetic. My wife was in it today.
Sure.
And she got to about Parkland, and she said, "What's going on? I'm stuck still in traffic." And I said, "Well, if I knew you were coming that way, I'd have told you to take Golden Bear and bypassed it." It's where they're doing the sidewalks, and they're at the final phase of this first phase, I guess you'd say. And unfortunately, because of workforce issues and things of that nature, we try to encourage them if they can to work at nighttime. But it's just a lot of these things you can't dictate necessarily. And because these sidewalks are literally right in the road and right of way issues, they're having to work from the roadway, and it just boogers up traffic. We are sympathetic of that. We understand it. But the good news is, as soon as they get the part wrapped up right there by Walgreens and the old Capital City Market, they'll be done for a while until that next phase starts. And we'll try to figure out a better setup in the future if we can do that. And if we can't, unfortunately, we'll just have to sort of work together to try to eliminate those setbacks when we can.
Sure. Okay. Well, cool. You mentioned Capital City, and that kind of can segue us into our questions. We have a question here from Miss looks like Gail. Hello. Any idea what can be done with the rundown gas station at 70 and Mount Juliet Road? So you may know of that. Has it been sold recently, or?
It has, Captain. About a year ago, a local business person that owns other properties in Mount Juliet bought that property, and that's an excellent question. And there are some big plans. And if one of the plans that I can't speak to works out, I will tell our residents, you will love what is proposed for there. And literally, we could find out anytime. There's also business proposed to the lot beside it, because this particular business owner bought that lot between it and Slim Chickens.
Okay, great.
So they are exactly right. When I walk most days, I go through that parking lot and I pick up trash and all, because it looks bad. The property owner knows it looks bad. They were sitting on it for a while, hoping they could get somebody to take it as is and they remodel it, put a little money in it. But it's gotten to the point now, I think they'd rather just see it replaced.
Sure.
And with a brand new building. And I can tell you again, I'm fully aware of what is proposed for there and what the potential is for the next lot for some folks looking at that. for this person asking the question, I didn't see their name. Please cross your fingers and hope that this business comes, because I know from a fact that we get a lot of feedback from our citizens that they want this business.
Good. That's good. That's good to hear. You have
Yeah.
that little secret kept in your private
Yeah.
notebook.
I hope to know. I don't want to mess it up, or I would say, but I'll tell you,
Please do.
our
Yeah.
citizens will like it, and we're that close to it being certain.
Awesome. That's great. We currently always get the questions about the schools. I know there's some recent good news about the schools that came out, but the schools have nothing to do with the city. That is county-run schools through Wilson County Schools. They have really their own budget on how they manage things, approved by the Wilson County Commission. But we're here as a city to help the schools in whatever thing they need to get the process moving. We've been helpful with them through that process. So Charles, with the city insurance, isn't involved with the schools. That's all with Wilson County Schools and their own insurance company with the county government. But I guess recently, Kenny, they went out for bid for construction to tear down and rebuild, right?
They did, yeah. What they were trying to do, Charles, is I think what held this up a lot is that the county was hopeful that the insurance would set a certain number on replacing the two schools, and they wanted to build back West Wilson Middle School like Glayville Middle and Thunder Creek like Springdale Elementary. And what the insurance company, I think, was sort of at debate with the county over is that they're saying our insurance says we'll either repair the buildings that were there or replace the buildings on the same footprint.
Sure.
So I think they're moving forward now. I don't think everything's settled with the insurance company yet, and they're still a few dollars apart. But the good thing is the county elected body and Dr. Donna Wright have said, you know what, we need to at least move forward, get these other schools demoed. And I think you could literally see, this is supposed to all start back in June, but you know how it is. You can't move forward until insurance settles up and you know a way forward.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I do know that they've decided, yes, we're going to demo these schools. And then that, to us, it's like orange barrels. It speaks to progress. And I agree. Every time I drive by those schools and you see that building, it's heartbreak all over again, because it just reminds us of the tornado.
Yeah,
So that's coming real soon. And again, I'm going to use this. It's real close any day now.
Awesome. Just kind words from Mike. He says he loves for us being live and online and loves living here in Mount Juliet. And Daryl Harrell with Animo Organics, just thanking you, Kenny, and mentioning the local businesses and how they're the lifeblood of our Mount Juliet community.
Oh, they are. I mean, I give an example. This isn't good news necessarily, but I remember many years ago when I come to work here, and for people that lived here a long time, you had local dentists, but if you need anything beyond just basic dental work, you had to go into another city. Mm-hmm. This guy, unfortunately, has got an old root canal that's going to need to be reworked, which I didn't know they had to be reworked, because it's killing me. So I'll be going to my own city, just across the street from City Hall next week, and getting that root canal. And that's a big deal, because these doctors, and when you meet these young men and women that are now the dentists and these specialists in our community, and you hear their background, a lot of these folks, like yourself, Captain, you're a success story. They grew up in this community. They love this community. And it shows you we can create these good jobs that our kids and our grandkids and people that live here today can enjoy without leaving your community. Right. The trade-off is that sometimes you do a little traffic as a result of having all these services. But to be honest with you, it sure beats a 30-minute drive into another community. And so do everything you can, again, to support these businesses. And when I say support business, it's not just the retail-based businesses. It's all of them. Your insurance agents, your CPAs, tax season coming up. There's some very talented people in this community, and I'm overwhelmed for the fact that these folks invest in our community. So please support them.
Yeah, for sure. Question from Kelly. She has a question about Nukes. Have you heard anything on Nukes Restaurant?
I have, yes. And Kelly, they are still looking. I don't know if they've settled on a spot. And there is a grocery list of folks. Let me give an example. Just the day before yesterday, and the mayor was involved in this meeting as well. We've been meeting with Cadillac. Now a lot of folks may not like the Cadillac car, but for us to gain another dealer of that magnitude in our community sends a large message all across the country that Mount Juliet is a place that you can do business. Those sales tax dollars get left here. And if you think about not too many years ago, we didn't have Ford. We didn't have Honda. We didn't have Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep. We didn't have any of these things. And so now we've got all those, in the Honda dealership, and got others looking. Nukes is looking, and those are the kind of businesses that helps you get that. We hear all the time about Costco and all these other businesses that folks want. That's how you get them. As your city continues to grow, it puts you sort of in a different level or stratosphere, I guess you'd say. And then other businesses take a look, and there is a lot of businesses that our citizens have been asking about for years that are currently kicking around Mount Juliet. And we got to get past this COVID. I think the COVID is of course, it's holding us back. Of course, it's hampering things. Of course, it's, unfortunately taking the lives of a lot of people in our country. And once we get past this, I think that you're going to see a whole lot more activity. But to have the activity level that we're having today, it's pretty amazing. And Captain, I know I'm continuing to talk too much.
We're doing good. You're doing fine. I see, Corey Nader here. I guess he's
Nader
opening a donut shop again, right?
That's right. And everybody knows Nader.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And Nader had retired and sold his business, which was Gourmet Donuts on Mount Juliet Road. And he missed us so much. And he missed getting up at like 3 a.m. to make donuts, that he's opening up another donut business, which we're tickled to have him back on Noddle Road in the new, what I call Dollar General Strip Center there, close to Wintry Trace subdivision. So that's one of the sweetest men that you'll meet. And he's kind and very good to this community. So welcome back, Mr. Nader.
Yeah, we appreciate you, sir. And glad that you got bored, I guess, at home being retired and you want to get back to it and you miss the community. So I'm pretty sure that's why you're getting back in it, is because you truly miss the people, right?
He does.
And everyone loved you. So
yep,
we're not going to miss you now that you're coming back. So we're glad to see you.
Yep.
Cool. Well, good deal. Kenny, do you have anything you want to add to close it out?
No, just everybody bear with us. There's a lot of projects moving. The commission, like I said, has stepped up, set aside about $24 million. No road project ever happens overnight. And I agree. Anytime that anybody's ever looked at us and said, well, this thing took 15 years or that took 12, it does. And we can't say it doesn't, but it's not from a lack of trying to push and trying to drive those projects every day. But there's so many hoops you've got to jump through, everything from design to right of way to easements to environmental to you name it. And those things just have to be done before you get these projects. But just know this staff and its elected body is striving 24 hours a day. Literally. I mean, Cap, how many times we've been sending emails at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning or talking about something to make sure we're doing the best we can out there. But, unfortunately, there's going to be times when we don't quite hit the mark or something holds us up that we didn't expect. But just know that we're working hard to get us there. And I just appreciate everybody.
Yeah, I do too. And so, Kenny, have a good weekend, sir. I know you'll be out walking because the sun is shining, and you're even out walking when it's cold as can be. And you have a twin. I was honking at some guy, and he looked at my police car funny, and I said, well, that's not Kenny. I don't know who that is, but there is another person that wears green reflective that walks.
Yeah,
with your same stature, but it's not you. So I was kind of embarrassed the other day when I was.
No, the guy, hey, trust me, there's folks that blow all the time, and I don't even think they're blowing at me. They're just blowing at somebody in traffic. And I throw my hand up and I just wave.
Gotcha.
So,
and I think Deputy Chief's chiming in. It looks like he's probably on the golf course saying, looking good, Kenny and Captain, thank you both. So
he misses us. You know how it is. It don't matter where we're at. He's gonna be looking for us. And we appreciate you too there, Deputy Chief. Keep up the good work.
I think he's off today. So he's either hunting on the golf course or doing stuff for his family or working on his schoolwork as he goes through grad school. So we appreciate him and all he does for our community too.
Yep. Captain, I want to end with this. I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much. Please know if you need us to call us. Please know if we're doing something we can do better. Let us know that as well. But we live in a blessed community, and together we can make it even more blessed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Kenny, who are you rooting for the Super Bowl?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Literally since it's not the Titans, I don't care.
I think we got what the Chiefs and the Bucks, Tampa Bucks, I think, right? Is that what it is? Or Bucks? But I guess it doesn't matter, right? I haven't been paying much attention to it. What I'm worried about, though, is, folks, if you are celebrating during the Super Bowl, please just be smart and do not drive impaired on our roadways. Please do not. There's always a better way to get home, whether it's calling a ride share, Uber, or Lyft. You can definitely get home safe without having to drive home impaired. So please just be smart about that if you are watching the Super Bowl and celebrating this weekend. And folks, as always, Mount Juliet, it's an honor and privilege to serve you. Kenny and I will see you soon. And if there's anything you need, you know who to call. All right. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.